Don't let your adult children miss out on a retirement plan that is far better than traditional IRAs and 401ks. You wouldn't believe how many times parents will say, golly, I wish we would have known this information 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah. And most people say, I wish I would have never put the money in there in the first place. Yeah. And so I tell them, well, as parents, I don't know how much your children still listen to you, but it would behoove you to help your children become financially independent and not make the same mistakes you did. Because so many kids today, they go out and they start working for a company and they just follow the herd and put their money in traditional IRAs or 401ks. So it doesn't matter what audience I'm talking to. When I talk to the older, baby boomers, I will ask them, okay, did you or somebody you know lose money in 2008 when the market dropped 40%? And most people either experienced that themselves or lost money in real estate that was foreclosed on or whatever, or somebody they knew did. My next question then is, well, do you think that kind of a crash is going to happen again? Overwhelmingly, people go, absolutely. I go, well, you ready for question 3? Do you want to have happen next time when it happens? The same thing that happened last time? No? Well, what are you doing differently? Where is your money repositioned? And all of a sudden they realize they're just hoping for the best. No, you need to be proactive and reposition your money. So that's what I've been doing for 50 years, helping people reposition assets, especially at retirement, because that's when most people begin to realize, hey, they're not going to be in a lower tax bracket because they were a saver. And inflation is going to continue to double the cost of living every 5 to 10 years as we speak. And we're going to continue to see market volatility. So then I need to come in and help them be immune from those 3 dangers: taxes, inflation, and market volatility. And so this requires educating not only the clients that are preparing for retirement, because at retirement planning is something totally different than maybe what you did for your retirement. But we want to help our adult children not make the same mistakes. And it is a game changer. This could make a difference of $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million of resources for your adult children if you help them prevent the financial disease instead of having to cure it like I did for them. Does that make sense? So that's the purpose of this series that I'm doing right now. The 3 big dangers, again, taxes, inflation, and market volatility. Well, if you've read very many of my 12 best-selling books that I've been very blessed and honored to have that kind of a receptivity, you have learned not only about those 3 dangers, but 3 opportunities that I think every American should seize to eliminate those dangers. One is that sooner than later, you ought to convert your retirement plan to tax-free vehicles. Now, sometimes I'm fairly conservative. I will tell people you ought to have 40 to 60% of your retirement income not even show up on the front page of your 1040 tax return. And people say, well, is this legit? I say, absolutely. There's only 3 kinds of income we pay income tax on: earned income, passive income, and portfolio income. The money out of a laser fund is not any one of those 3 types of income. It's totally tax-free. It's been that way for 108 years in the Internal Revenue Code. It's not some secret or loophole. And so you have to convert to tax-free, but you do it correctly under the rules of the government. And then in order to hedge against inflation, you can't be rowing upstream at the rate of 1 or 2 or 3% returns, 1 or 2 or 3 miles an hour, so to speak, while the current of inflation is coming down at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going backwards. So you have to have a strategy where you're linking your returns to the things that are inflating. I don't like inflation any more than anybody, but it doesn't hurt me. It helps me. Back in 1980, during the Carter years, inflation hit double digits, 10%. I was getting, on my favorite vehicle, Universal Life at the time, 15.5%. I've actually always been able to earn a rate of return of at least 5% greater than the inflation rate. Now, I can't guarantee that for the future, but in March of 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, when there's anxiety, that spells opportunity. And so many of our clients were able to switch the indexing strategy to a 1-year point-to-point with no cap. And many of them locked in gains of 61.33%. I don't care if inflation was 15%. If you can earn 25 or 61% when inflation is through the roof because of irresponsible government spending and the printing of money, you don't have to worry about it because you're coming along for the ride. Does that make sense? And then the third opportunity is by using indexing. You're able to participate when the market goes up, but not lose when the market goes down because your money is not invested or at risk in the market, okay? And that's called indexing. A lot of people think I'm talking about index mutual funds. No. If you had $1 million in an index mutual fund made up of the S&P 500, you would have lost 40% in 2008. People who had indexed to universal life, they did not lose one dime in 2008 due to that market downturn. And the first 90 days of 2009, most of them locked in gains of 16%, which was the cap at the time, tax-free after not losing a dime. People in America had their money in the market. It took 4 years until 2012 to make back what they lost. Most of our clients at the end of 2012 had 2.5 to 3 times the money they started with, where most Americans were barely getting back what they originally had 12 years earlier. This is why people had to put off retirement. They felt like they had lost their future. And so the greatest key elements of a prudent investment that I have taught my clients for years in order of importance is liquidity, safety, and rate of return. You wouldn't believe how many people put those almost in reverse order. They're out to get rich quick and taking unnecessary risks at retirement. You want to, first and foremost, be able to access your money when you need it with an electronic funds transfer or phone call. You need to make sure that whatever you set aside will not be subject to losses due to market downturns. And in a year you make money, you want that to become newly protected principal. I don't want to lose in future years money I made in previous years. And then you want to earn a predictable rate of return. So the 3 key elements of a prudent investment are liquidity, the ability to access your money. That's why I use the laser fund. Laser is an acronym. This stands for liquid asset safely earning returns. I want my money liquid. Number 2, safe. And number 3, I want it to earn a rate of return that historically has outpaced inflation. So those are the key elements. And the reason my favorite financial vehicle, bar none, is called the laser fund is because it passes the liquidity, safety, rate of return test with flying colors, and it's tax-free to boot. And so that's why on my most recent best-selling book, The Laser Fund, there's 4 pillars on here. And each pillar represents the first one, liquidity, L. S is safety, R is return, and T is tax advantages. You can take any investment in America and on a scale of 1 to 10, grade it on a scale of 1 to 10 based upon these 4 criteria of a prudent investment. So far, I have never seen any other financial vehicle come through with a score, a possible score of 40, 10 each one, with as high a score as a properly structured maximum funded IUL. That's why it's deemed a laser fund. So if this is intriguing you and you want to learn if you don't know yet, but even more importantly, help your children so that they are financially independent and they do not have to worry about outliving their money and correcting mistakes that many baby boomers made, make sure you and your adult children study this book. It's called The Laser Fund. It's 300 pages. It's really 2 books in one. This side is for the left brain learner. This has all the charts and graphs and explanations, 14 chapters. But if you're more of a right brain learner, you learn more by stories and examples. You flip it over and you read this one. This is about 100 pages, 12 chapters with 62 chicken soup for the financial soul stories. If you want to use your whole brain, you can read both. It retails on Amazon for $20 plus shipping. I'll tell you what, if you simply click on laserfund.com or the link below and you contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling, I'll cover the rest of that and I'll pay for the book. And I'll fire out a hard copy to you via priority mail. Now, when you're in there claiming your free copy, if you like to listen and learn or watch and learn, there's audio and video formats available. We have regular educational webinars. They're free. You can register for one of those. You can even schedule a time to talk to a laser fund specialist in order to see how these strategies may apply in your particular set of circumstances. This is not about me. This is about you and your brighter future. So claim your free copy, schedule a time to talk to a specialist, and with no cost or obligation, they can show you the brightness of your future if you were to reposition your assets and not make the same mistakes that thousands of baby boomers have made.